Oh, no, oh, we are live. Oh, all right. So I wanted been reading this Watchmen. Like I have been looking through it, and it actually is a really good comic book. Like I just want to sip through here real fast. I actually want to read something. I actually want to read something here, like in this thing. Like this is like long stuff. I don't know if I want to read this or not, but like I want to read a little bit of this comic book of the Watchmen. Uh, I got this at Target, and it's chapter one. Yeah, so it's like Roscoe's Journal, October 12th, 1985, a year and a couple of days before I was born. Dog carcass in alley this morning, tired thread on bus stomach. This city is afraid of me. I have seen its true face. As you hear the kids in the background playing Fortnite. So the streets are extended gutters, and the gutters are full of blood. And when the drains finally scab over all the venom, vermin will drown. The accumulated filth of all their sex and murder will foam up about their waists, and all the whores and politicians will look up and shout, "Save us." And I'll look down and whisper, "No." They had a choice, all of them. They could have followed in the footsteps of good men, like my father or President Truman, decent men who believed in a day's work for a day's pay. Instead, they followed the droppings of leeches and communists and didn't realize that the trail led over a perceived purse piece until it was too late. Don't tell me they didn't have a choice. Now the whole world stands on the brink, staring down into bloody hell, all those liberals and intelligence and smooth talkers. And all of a sudden, nobody can think of anything to say. That's quite a drop. And this is Watchmen. Watchmen. Yeah, poor guy. You know, I always wondered, do you think you're do you think you're black out before you hit the sidewalk or what? Frankly, I don't need to know that bad. What do you think happened here? Well, looks like someone broke in by busting this door down. Take that would take either two guys or one guy on a serious drugs because the door had a chain fastened on the inside. Which means that the occupant was home when it happened. I saw the blood body and he looked beefy enough to protect himself. For a guy his age, he was in terrific shape. What you mean, apart from being dead? No, I mean this Blake guy, the occupant, he had muscles like a weightlifter. Yeah, well, it looks like he lost. Maybe it was a couple of guys and they just overpowered him. Maybe the data we have suggests he's been doing some sort of overseas diplomatic work for years. A lot of classy expense accounts living. Maybe he just got soft. He don't look too soft in this photograph. Wonder how he got that scar. It looks. Hey, the guy he's shaking hands with in the picture is Vice President Ford. Hey, so it is. Well, listen, between you and me, I think we can rule him out as a suspect. A job like this is just isn't his style. That'd be real funny if we had any better leads to go on. I mean, what is this? A little money got stolen, but no way is this a straight burglary? somebody really had it in for this guy. I mean, how did he go out of the window? Maybe he tripped against it? Forget it. That strong glass, man. You trip against it, even a big guy like that, it don't break. I think you have to be thrown. Well, if this Edward Blake was as big as you say he was, then one guy would never lift him. So we're talking two assailants here. Which floor you want? Oh, ground floor, please. Ground floor coming up. All right, so we read a little bit of The Watchmen. We read about maybe a couple pages here. I would say about one page, a page and a half, I would say. But I don't want to. We're on page 3, so yeah, like I'm really intrigued in it because it's a lot, and it really is going to be a good comic book read. So yeah, this is going to be a good read for me to do. So let's see. Oh boy, I go the yawn. So yeah, Watchmen is actually a very good comic book. I mean, it's one of DC's compact comic thrillers. So it's like it's very good. I believe it's very good, and for others to decide too as well. But yeah, it definitely is a good read. I like it. I also got this book, which is The Last Roman, which I thought it was like a Ninja Turtle book, and I believe it kind of is now that I skimmed through it a little bit more, and it kind of is like a first person. It's kind of like a one Ninja Turtle. Then you get in the stories of the Ninja Turtles as well. So yeah, I am live right now. Surprised YouTube's let me, even though I didn't do nothing wrong. Hey, but that's YouTube for you. And I bad. I love YouTube. YouTube's the greatest thing in my life, man. I do want. I actually want to read this introduction for this thing for this book. I think it's kind of like pretty cool. The introduction, a little bit I read. A little bit I did read. I first discovered Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the later 80s when I was in college. The comics have been out a few years, the animated show has begun, and it was the talk of the school because the phenomenon had been dreamed up in a kitchen over pizza by a couple of friends. The original film came out a few years later, and I saw it in an advanced word of mouth preview screening. I remember being blown away and inspired that this whole wild creation that caught fire everywhere was created independently and has started as an indie comic and made us all feel like the sky was the limit and that maybe we too could come up with an idea that could mass entertain and have cultural impact. It was an exciting time, both as customers and fans of comics, movies, and animated, and as budding creators. Later, again, I would get to experience just what a phenomenon of multi-generation fandom Ninja Turtle really was. I was able to turn all 5 of my kids onto it as each grew up through that many different years and interrelations of poverty. It was part of their rites of passage that they learned all about the lore and legacy of the turtles in their world through whatever medium was popular of the time. And like a science project, I got to witness them argue passionately over which movies and animated versions were truer and more authentic. It always depended on which version each kid grew up with. I got the privilege of being friends with Kevin Eastman over the past 12 years, and he's such an inspiration and the hardest working man in the business. I mean, this guy works hard, hanging on to his studio while he cranked out a new run of Ninja Turtle comics and was a life highlight for me. It would blow my kids' minds that I knew Kevin Eastman whenever he was in Austin. He draw turtles for my kids. He was the magic man. Them knowing the guy behind it all made them appreciate the property as a whole other level. So what a mind-blowing day it was when Kevin sent us a preview of the last Ronin issue number 1. Seeing their reaction as we read it together, I felt like a full circle in their growing up. Gut-wrenching, Solomon at times, exciting, life-affirming, and art-affirming. We all read and were floored. It was yet another rite of passage for them going into the adult world. We now read the entire 5-issue miniseries, and it's clear that the last Ronin is gritty, problematic, dramatic yarn that had us all reread from start to finish. It was really something to see the series grow with them and get to the point at the right time of their lives. I can't think of another IP that has done that. That aligned with me, with my kids' lives like that. A true testament to the lasting and continuing impact this creation has had our collective lives as a family. So strap yourselves in for this is a serious fun. It's wild, imaginative, and a full senses assault that demonstrates the testing power of the turtles' inspired world, the independent spirit, and their collective lasting impact. And also a true testament to the passion and hard work of the treasures that is Kevin Eastman. Robert Rodriguez, filmmaker, Austin, Texas, March 3rd, 2022. Yeah, so that was actually a very good introduction for that comic book that I will be reading. Still get a drink. without a purpose of direction. Why does everybody need a fucking explanation? Oh, the whole fucking thing, bro. Fell in love with the girl at the rock show. Oh, thank you everybody for watching this video. I'm sure you all will watch it in replay. Thank you very much, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, Tom was right. Aliens do exist, and you'll always be da 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 da. Okay, good night.